Hey guys, welcome to Module 3, Social Work 541. This module is a little bit different. This is a 3-week module this time. This module is a little bit longer to give you some more time on the assignments due. In this module, we have the Tuskegee paper. That Tuskegee paper ethics assignment is due before the end of the module, so keep that in mind. And then at the end of the module, we have a quiz and a discussion, per the usual, for each module. The reading is a little bit lighter this week to help, or this module, to help you have more time to work on your Tuskegee paper. Be sure to continue finishing up reading the Tuskegee book. As you know, a lot of the Tuskegee paper ethics assignment will center around that book. There's also a video I posted on, it's further down in this module, but also it's posted under the major assignments tab near the Tuskegee ethics assignment that tells you a little bit more about what I'm looking for in that paper. So be sure to check out that video as well. So this week our reading kind of centers around chapters 6, 7, and 8. We've been talking about research in social work. We've been talking about, qualitative, quantitative, mixed methods, just very lightly within the previous reading. But in this week, we're really going to hit a little bit further on that. We're going to dig into that a little bit more so you guys can kind of get into that research mind frame and understanding how to really, think like a researcher. Okay, now last module, you guys turned in your research question problem statement assignments, which that's very important. This is the first real step in your research process. So I'll be looking at those, giving you guys feedback. We may also have to have some conversations. I find it easier to talk, a lot of times one-on-one with my students about their particular projects. So that may be something that happens as well. If you get your paper graded, be sure to look at the feedback, because up at the top I'll either have resubmit, not approved, or they'll be approved at the top. If you get a resubmit, not approved, that means you must make changes based on the feedback or have a conversation with me, make changes, and resubmit. You submit and resubmit until that you gain approval for your research topic. Now we'll be kind of cleaning that up over the next couple weeks during pretty much this module, because in module 4 we have your literature review outline due. So you can't really complete that assignment until you get your research question kind of nailed down. So we'll be working through those in the next few weeks to make sure that everyone has an approved topic. Okay. So be sure, read your feedback on those, okay, and resubmit as needed. So that we'll be cleaning that up as well. That's another reason for the kind of light reading this week, which I'm sure you guys won't complain about. But in the reading, also be sure to really try to read for understanding, because in this research question, or when you're formulating your research question, you have to be able to actually conduct the research once you have a question. You have to have a source of data or a mechanism you can put into place, like a survey or some kind of data collection method that you can put into place to gather your data. Now, we won't be actually gathering the data in this class. This just gets you up to the point where you could start data collection if you were going to, okay? So this helps you kind of think about your method section, because in your method section, you'll be identifying if your project is qualitative, if it's quantitative, or if it's mixed methods approach. So this really helps you kind of look toward your method section, okay? But that's also important to look ahead while you're formulating that research question, because like I said, you have to be able to measure your perceived research question, right? And to kind of give you an example of that, in some of my own research, if I were going to look at people in inpatient treatment for substance abuse, individuals there, there's a high rate of people leaving against medical advice. And of course, there's a variety of factors that show that that's not good for the person's recovery. So, but why is that? Why do people leave against treatment, against medical advice? That's a little bit of an unknown, but we may have interventions that can help to determine if that can help people retain in treatment. So, in my particular instance, I looked at narrative therapy, and if you introduce interventions centered around narrative therapy, does that help the individual retain in treatment? Does it help reduce the number of folks um, leaving against medical advice? So in that context, when I'm looking at the actual data, I can look at the previous, months or years and how many people left against medical advice. That's something probably that center is tracking, or I could track at multiple centers. Then moving forward, after the intervention is presented, you track to see, the same method. You look at that time period to see if there's any difference between the two. So really, it's easy, it's measurable. I can look at this data. The data exists. Okay. Now that's just an example, but that's a way of thinking. That's in that getting in that research mindset, thinking in a quantitative method. Thinking about how you're going to measure your intended research. Okay. All right, so just keep that in mind as you're thinking through these research questions. And I know this is the hardest part, and I've told you guys this is the hardest part. So just hang in there. We will get through this. Like I said, we'll have a lot of, hopefully be able to have some one-on-one meetings. I've already met with some of you guys. That's been really fruitful for you guys, being able to work through your research projects. So I think you guys will find that really helpful. And, with this type of class, it's a lot of times necessary just to get, right on the right track. Okay. So as far as module 3, that's about it. Be sure to remember that your Tuskegee Ethics assignment is due before the end of the module. I think it's the second week that it's due, so be sure to look at due dates on that. Then the remainder of assignments, the discussion, the quiz will be due at the end of this module. Remember, a 3-week module, so it's a little bit different format. We'll go back to the 2-week format next time, next module in module 4. So if you guys have questions about your research problem statement revisions or the content of module 3 or upcoming assignments, please don't hesitate to reach out. I try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. Email is usually the best method, so email me directly and we'll get you taken care of. All right, so enjoy module 3.